volume on this and the music's a bit ironic. That should be okay. Hopefully you can hear me above the music alright. Suppose I could change the settings in the game itself. It's easier to just use the slider on Streamlabs over here, which is what I'm using to record. Works really well for recording, actually. Kind of a one-stop shop for recording and streaming. I like it. Alright, so War for the Overworld, spiritual successor to Dungeon Keeper. I love the Dungeon Keeper games. When they were, from back in the day. They never released the third one. They teased it, but they did not actually make the game and release it. Which has never failed when I think about it. Never fails to annoy me. Because I love those games, And this is... it's basically a different company making the third game. They even got the same guy to do the narration for us, which was one of the funnest parts of the original games. So I did already start a playthrough with this, but I was live streaming it, and it's not really the kind of game that lends itself well to live streaming, I realize. So I'm going to go ahead and just do it as video.
I've been looking for someone to spearhead my campaign. But before we get stuck in, let's refresh that old mind of yours.
All right.
Welcome back, Underlord. You've returned as a This is your dungeon core. The tether that allows you to manifest your malignant will. If destroyed, your consciousness will once again be scattered to the void. Your workers are an extension of your dark will. They have many jobs, but their main focus is in carving out the halls of your dungeon. Put them to work by clicking and dragging your cursor upon the flashing tiles to tag them for excavation. Your workers will now rush forth to dig out and claim the tagged area. Once they have laid down the stones, marking the ground as your own, you will be able to build rooms upon the finished tiles. While your lackeys get to work, look to the east of your dungeon core. This is a gateway, one of the many portals that you'll use to attract minions to your dungeon. Order your workers to dig a path to it now.
Alrighty, so we're starting off with digging out some rooms. Wait for the imps to kind of get their shiz together.
Your vaults are full of gold.
Yes, good. Das ist gut. Goody. And we only get 5 imps to start with, and no spell to make more, I don't think.
Now that you have a gateway, minions can enter into your service. But first, you'll need to build the rooms necessary to entice them in. Start by building a barracks. This room will allow your minions to hone their combat skills without the risk of permanent death or disfigurement. Select it and build it by clicking and dragging your hand across the claimed tiles. Most rooms must be built at least 3 by 3 in order to function properly, though the lair and vault are effective at any size. A gnarling has entered your dungeon. Attracted by the barracks, these green-skinned scrappers aren't quite right in the head, and they'll happily hack at your foes until someone is dead. Outside of combat, Gnarlings will train themselves within your barracks. You can pick them up with a click if you find them slouching off, then deposit them anywhere within your dungeon with a right click. For further entertainment, you can always put yourself directly into their head by casting possession upon them. You need a larger vault. A Gnarling has entered your dungeon. You can increase the efficiency of props within your rooms by fortifying the walls closest to the props. Workers will fortify walls automatically when they've completed all their other tasks. Now that you have some minions, you will need to cater for their basic needs. First, build a lair so the pitiful little meat sacks can get some rest. Well done. But see how your gold reserves have been depleted. Command your workers to mine some of the nearby gold by tagging the gleaming tiles. They collect and return gold to your dungeon coffers, allowing you to spend it on whatever your dark heart desires. Your core can store up to 16,000 gold pieces. But if that number sounds pitifully small, or if wealth inspires the evil in you, simply build a vault to store more. Now that you've got a bit of coin in your pocket, you can build a slaughter pan. This room produces scores of micro-piglets, a delicacy that will sustain the weak flesh of your minions by filling their bellies with succulent pig flesh.
Shut up, fatties!
Slayer, slaughter pan, or was it 5x5?
Your dungeon has been breached. Cast Rally upon these specters, and your minions will immediately sally forth to wreak bloody havoc. Well done. Now finish off the rest of these manifestations with a second rally flag. Your gnarlings made short work of those specters, but see how they still circle the flag. You can dismiss rally flags by slapping them with a right click. This should allow your minions to return to their jobs and tend to their needs in a timely fashion. You can cast Recall upon a minion to immediately return them to your dungeon. Though if they are attacked as it channels, then the spell will fizzle into nothing. You're on a roll, Underlord, and I've been waiting far too long to begin my war for the Overworld. Let us enter the realm of Kairos and continue your retraining against a more fitting enemy.
Was it a vault or barracks for the other one?
Well done, Underlord. I see it all coming back quite quickly. I expected nothing less, but there's much still to learn. Why don't we work in a bit of murder while we're at it?
I had a
It's time for you to enter the realm of Kairos.
Didn't I? I could have sworn that I did have 5x5 for all three. There's another one with 3 too. That's because they didn't give it to me.
Now's the time for a bigger challenge. Before you lies an Imperial keep, guarded by a certain Lord Rusimov.
Rusimov.
He had a bit of an accident that melted most of his face, but he's no less vigilant a soldier. He's been sent to guard an object that could threaten our campaign. Get in there and burn the rest of him, Underlord.
Burn the rest. Yes, we shall burn him. Actually, we're gonna hack into little pieces.
We've punctured the veil of this world through a schism, a point of weakness in the bonds between realms. Unfortunately for us, the Empire has crafted defenses to keep us from the heart of their kingdom. These inhibitors prevent Underlords from trespass, but whether it's bone or stone, it can be broken. I suspect that this Empire force has yet to taste true battle. But before you go engaging them, you'll need to muster up some minions.
Yes, I shall muster up my minions.
Unfortunately for me, your time in the ether has left you a weak husk of your former self. In order to reacquire your powers, you will need to access the veins of evil. Open them now, and use a sin to unlock the archive. You have claimed a gateway. Archive unlocked. This room will allow your minions to research additional sins, which can be spent to recover your lost powers. Build one now to begin researching additional sins.
Yeah, I'll get to it. Give the little fellas some time to do their work.
To have your workers prioritize objectives in a specific area, place a worker rally banner in that location. Build an archive, Underlord. Your forgotten powers are far more impressive than those you currently wield.
I have to wait for the little dudes to finish digging things out in the spaces. So bloody impatient. Getting on with it. Let's go ahead and speed things up a little for Mr. Impatient.
You need a larger vault. A cultist has found its way into your dungeon, attracted by the magical tomes within your archive. These minions will spend most of their time researching sins for you. Though they are weak combatants, they have the power to curse your foes, making them weak to your other minions' blows. A hungry minion can always find work elsewhere.
Yes.
Build a slaughter pen before your minions starve. A cultist has entered your dungeon.
So noisy.
You've discovered a perception shrine.
should.
You cannot store more gold.
That should work. Should do the job. I want to build over there.
You've claimed a perception shrine.
Good.
More nightmares about those damned midgets.
A Gnarling has entered your dungeon.
Good. Secrets of this one.
Behold my evil. I'll fill you.
Your cultists have worked hard to earn a new sin. Use it within the veins of evil to unlock the tavern. The tavern is an essential room for keeping your minions fed. As they increase in level, they will eventually rebel if there is no tavern to sate their hunger. Build one now, and remember that the tavern is unique and must be built at least 3 by 5 in order to be effective. You'll still need a slaughter pen in order to keep your tavern stocked. But in a pinch, you can always drop some alternative meat into the grinder. Rooms will only attract a certain number of minions before becoming full. In order to attract more, you will need to expand them. Nothing in this life is free, Underlord, and you'll regularly need to pay your minions for their hard work. Be sure to keep an eye on your reserves, for if you've not enough gold for their wages, they'll be swift to find gainful employment elsewhere. Fortunately, your minions will return some of their earnings by buying meals within your own tavern. What a delicious arrangement.
Trying to see how much bigger the barracks the tavern. Don't want to expand.
Crunchy.
There we go.
Something evil stirs out there. Scouts, go find what the hell's making all that racket.
Rally your minions to defeat these scouts once they breach your
5 by
dungeon.
5 and you get
Let's keep Sarusimov in the dark a little while longer. You should try using the lightning and heal spells to assist your minions in combat.
Or I can just rally my minions. Do that to hide again.
The health of minions is represented by petals surrounding their unit shield. Once no petals remain, a creature will fall unconscious and soon die, unless returned to its lair to recover. To have your minions ignore rally flags and remain focused on their current objectives, you can assign them to the Peace Band.
They should be back by now. Ugh. Bar the doors. We wait for reinforcements.
Look how easily your minions cut down these sappers. If I didn't know better, I'd say the Empire is woefully unprepared. Once minions are rested, you can leave them to their work or force them to train by dropping them in a barracks.
Okay, 3 feet. It's full of little bits of information. Let's get on gold mine.
Who the hell is Brian?
If you don't want to do something, you could at least vocalize it, Underlord. Prophecy unlocked.
What do you mean I don't want to do something? I am doing something. Waiting for them to figure out what that means more. Go.
Taste my blood.
Doing pretty good. Probably go ahead and proceed.
Alluring, isn't it? Quiescent Shalis, Sanctificator Noam Tum, Obvinia Frenum Tum, Fiat Voluntas, Tuesicut in Chelo et in Terra?
I think we can take care of the Rethrath and blooded bastards. Kill them all. Kill them dead. Kill them good. Kill them bad. Just kill them. Smash them. Bash them. Thrash them. Thrash them.
If any of your minions fall in combat, your workers will attempt to rescue them and return them to their lair, where they may rest and recover.
The enemy have breached the damn walls. Steel yourselves, lads.
My wrist bothers me. One of those mouse pads with a cushion.
light is gone. Kira, I am extinguished.
It seems almost charitable to put him out of his misery. Well done, Underlord. You're learning much faster this time. We've barely even started, and you already have a notch on your belt. Well done, Underlord. But there's no rest for the wicked. 2 inhibitors still stand between us and the mainland. But after your butchery of poor Lord Rusimov, I doubt they'll be as weakly defended.
Probably. Alright, so I'm gonna call that a video. I'm gonna be doing about a mission or 2 per video, depending on how long it takes. There's not as many in this game as was in the original, I don't think. Only 13. Maybe there will be some other stuff. In the game. But, thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you on the next one. This is Ryan Asset, Morpheus signing out. See you later.